Okay, back again with Chapter 6, Where the Rain Grows, which is the clouds, right? Because they condense and go up in the clouds, and then it rains. Alright, enough joking. I'd entered the cave to take shelter from the rain. The interior was clean as if it had been swept. Is there a bear living here? There were remnants of a fire, so local woodsmen or hunters may have used this cave. I was alone in the cave. I lost my way and wandered aimlessly. Alone with Masamune until morning. No, if the rain ceased and the battle calmed down, then we could go back to the castle. No, wait. Before that, I should be worried about the battle. The demons were going to the castle. I need to calm down. I continued to breathe deeply and heard the sound of someone stepping on a stick near the entrance.
Sorry it took so long. All the trees were damp. I had a hard time finding firewood. What's wrong? Why are you huddled in the corner?
Masamune was confused.
Did you think I was a demon? Sorry for scaring you.
No, there's no way I would think that. I wonder what kind of face he would have made if I told him I was nervous about being alone with him. Let's see, what should I do? Try telling him. I got a little nervous, thinking about how it's just the two of us. Now we're making him... Oh no, he's not going to be nervous. Masamune burst into laughter after he looked at me in amazement. You could at least say something. He did, he laughed. Sort of. I mean, that's sort of saying something.
Sorry, you're just too honest, princess.
He laughed. I should have said something. I tried changing the subject. I didn't know there was a place like this.
Right? I found it one time when I'd gone out to hunt. The locals used this place when they went hunting or harvesting.
Oh, so that's why it's clean. Not because of a bear. Masamune made a fire. The flames immediately started to emit a dim warm light.
Princess, put your clothes here.
Ah, here we go. Huh?
They're wet. You'll catch a cold. Dry them near the fire at once.
No way! I found myself shrinking up and getting closer to the wall.
I don't have any ulterior motives.
I know, but it's so embarrassing.
Don't whine. I'm trying to tell you that it's bad for your health.
Well, you stripped too. Why don't you go first? Be a good example. I won't do things I don't want to do. I'd rather bite my tongue off than strip down. At least strip down to your underwear. All of a sudden, it felt like the air around me had changed. When I thought I'd heard someone's breathing.
You fool!
His voice echoed off the cavern walls. It was so loud, it felt like it would make me go deaf. Masamune!
Do you even understand what you just said?
It felt like I'd been pelted with cold ice water. Many people had saved my life. I couldn't say those words even if I was just joking.
Don't say such unreasonable things. I'm not telling you to completely get naked either. I won't do anything. Trust me.
Yeah, why would you think he's a perv? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's fine, as long as you understand. As long as you understand.
Masamune's tone had returned to normal. It's been a while since I've been scolded by someone. He was normally calm and kind, but when he yelled like that, I had to listen to him. That's like mom's yell. I took off my kimono and was left only wearing an undershirt. Here. I handed him my kimono and quickly turned around again. Masamune was in the process of undressing himself as well.
Leave it close to the fire.
Okay. I quickly laid down my kimono and huddled back to where I had been. Masamune's sturdy back glimmered in front of my eyes when I'd looked a moment ago. Also, after taking a closer look, my undershirt had been drenched. I couldn't go near him like this. Yeah, probably because their underclothes are white, so it's completely see-through.
What's wrong? Why don't you try and come closer to the fire?
Yeah.
Why won't you come closer? You're cold, aren't you?
That's because...
Hmm?
It's see-through. My voice had been so quiet. Masamune's ears?
What did you say?
Like I said, be bashful. I was about to cry. I was so embarrassed I couldn't say a word.
Princess, what's the matter?
I heard his curious voice and sensed that he stood up. Don't come near me! I panicked and raised my voice, but I was too late. When he looked at me, he averted his eyes and covered his mouth. Well, why didn't I just cross my arms over my chest? That's the only thing to really see through the clothes. I am sitting after all, right?
So, that's what it was. Sorry about that.
That's why I told you not to come over here.
Even if you say that, you're going to freeze if you stay like that.
When I thought he was just pulling on my arm, and the next moment I was lifted off the ground. Masamune gently carried me to the fire. While carrying me, he plopped down on the floor. His eyes had been closed. Oh, he's so sweet! What a wonderful situation. He still has his pants on though. Come on, your pants need to dry. And they're even tucked into his boots. How are they going to dry like that? Oh.
My eyes were closed the whole time. Don't worry, okay?
She looks awfully young in that picture too for some reason. I couldn't speak. He was so close to me. I looked at his chiseled face. It had a gentle expression on it. I feel like Masamune's face is the best drawn face in this game. He's so pretty. The rain droplets from my hair trickled down and glittered in the flames. I so cannot talk today. I suddenly realized something. I really liked being with Masamune. I was in love with him. I loved the way he worried about me. I loved how warm and composed he was. I really loved how safe I felt when he was by my side. The fire he made was warm, but Masamune was even warmer as he held me. I gently put my cheek on his body. He didn't say anything and let me do as I pleased. I want to be in this situation. He looks so hot. The rain was still continuing to fall outside. It had probably already become dark, or were the clouds just that thick? I wonder if the castle is okay.
When I had a look, there were only a few demons. If they fought, they'd be fine. Yukimura's there.
Yeah. I could believe Masamune's words. I was sure he was right. Masamune. I gently called to him, and he replied affectionately. It made me happy. Actually, I was going to make you do something else if I'd won the bet.
Oh? What sort of selfish request did you have in mind?
Tell him honestly. Yay! Come on, click. I was thinking about telling you to marry me. Oh, look at that face! Did I just ruin the moment? I was worried because he hadn't given me a reply. I slowly lifted my head. Masamune was blankly staring at my face, and not at my undershirt, right? Blood rose to my face. I'd unconsciously made a fist. You said your eyes were closed, didn't you?
Let's not fight here next to the fire. It's dangerous.
It's dangerous to argue next to the fire. Masamune held me tightly and smiled.
Sorry about that. I was curious as to what kind of face a tomboy like you had made.
Oh, you're terrible.
Still, I got to see your lovely face. I'm glad I opened my eyes.
My ears became hot. I couldn't hold my head up any longer and put it on his chest. Masamune gently put his cheek on my forehead. I told you before,
didn't I? I thought it sounded nice getting married to a lovely girl like you.
Yeah.
I've made great achievements just for that purpose. Didn't you figure that out a while ago?
No, because I'm dim-witted. I don't know what to do. My heart was pounding and it wouldn't stop. Masamune might have heard it. But if you marry me, you might be in for a painful time.
A painful time?
Yeah, if you're talking about how bad... What?
Oh, yeah. If you're talking about how bad a cook you are, I don't mind.
Not that. You know, about those guys who gossip, right? Who knows what they'll say? I was talking about the men who told father that Masamune seduced me, so I would neglect Yukimura. Masamune laughed out loud.
That's nothing. Let them say what they want.
But that's kind of like Nobunaga in that way. Nobunaga was just like, let them say what they want. I'm going to do whatever I want to.
Princess, this might sound strange, but lately it doesn't feel like I'm in a high position.
What?
I'm worried about being scorned for being an upstart, but it doesn't matter to me anymore. It's mysterious, but I feel like the real me is a feudal lord. Haha. If that's really the case, I just might make that thought into reality. I need fame for that.
Yep, and indeed, that's exactly what he really is.
I don't want to marry you for fame and power. From the beginning, I'd been in a high position.
Masamune was joking and put his forehead on mine.
So, Princess, no matter what anyone says, I don't care.
His words were strong, and his self-confidence was unshaken. Oh, that's what he was really like. I somehow felt that he'd been an important person in his original world. I need to tell him the truth. I need to tell him. Oh, his eyes are open again. I need to tell him the truth. That he really wasn't from this world, and that I called him here by making a wish on my dagger. Everything Masamune was remembering was fake. Masamune. I lifted my head, wondering how I could explain it to him, and a shadow fell upon me. Something warm and soft touched my lips. When I realized Masamune had kissed me, he had already pulled his face away.
Will you marry me? When the war is over, I'll get your father's permission, and we'll hold a ceremony.
Masamune closed his eyes again and came closer. His big arms embraced me, and I felt his warmth wrapped around me. Yes. I slowly closed my eyes as well. I didn't want to tell him yet. I didn't want to destroy this peaceful mood. Yeah, we might as well read the moment. This time our kiss was longer. It felt like my body was floating just from being held by him. I wondered how much time had passed. Masamune suddenly raised his head.
It stopped.
I dozed off in his arms. I quickly rubbed my eyes. Really?
Yeah, it looks like the clouds are gone too. I'm sure our clothes will have dried enough as well. Let's head back soon.
Okay. Do we have to? Can't we just stay here together alone a little while longer? I was a little disappointed. I wanted to stay snuggled up like this, at least until morning. But that wouldn't be allowed. I was worried about the castle, and was sure they'd be worried about us once the battle finished. I finished putting on my clothes and went outside. The moonlight was shining over the trees in the forest. I heard an owl hoot as well. Couldn't we just make the excuse that we fell asleep? Come on.
The moon is out, so the horse should be able to find its way on its own, but be careful.
Yeah. We walked together in silence for a bit.
I'm glad it stopped raining.
Huh?
I'd said I didn't have any ulterior motives, but if we'd stayed, it might have turned into a lie.
Well, he didn't initially have ulterior motives, but cuddled up to a cute girl like me. Masamune laughed at me teasingly. Jeez. Even though I knew it was improper, deep down, I wished the rain hadn't stopped. When we returned to the castle, the vassals who had returned earlier approached us.
Oh, Princess and Masamune, I'm glad the two of you returned safely.
I too am glad that you guys are well. What happened to the demons?
With Princess Yukimura at the front, our momentous force drove them away.
He was boasting like a child, and it was a little funny. I see, that's great.
Was anyone hurt?
While we were talking, Yukimura showed up.
Oh, Saya, you returned.
Yeah, Masamune protected me. I'm glad you're unhurt, Yukimura. What? Yukimura looked at me seriously after I'd spoken. He tilted his head.
Did something happen?
Huh? Why do you think that?
No, you just look so happy, that's all.
What? Don't worry, Yukimura, this isn't the afterglow. Instinctively, Masamune and I looked at each other. Well, we did kind of get engaged. Don't be mad. Yukimura suddenly lifted an eyebrow and turned around sharply.
Huh, I was such a fool for worrying about you.
Yukimura? Yukimura perked up his shoulders and entered the castle. He's so strange.
Yeah, well, it's to be expected.
It sounded like Masamune was alluding to something, so I looked up at him. What? Did I say something strange? Masamune smiled and put his hand on my head.
No. You're fine just the way you are, princess. Don't worry.
I went back to my room and changed. I felt at ease and went to bed. I recalled the events prior.
Will you marry me? When the war is over, I'll get your father's permission and we'll hold a ceremony.
Masamune. I softly put a finger on my lips. This was where he touched me. Without thinking, I chuckled. Someone else then joined me. Do you really think it'll be that easy for you to get married? It had been a while since I heard from the dagger. What do you mean? It's been a while, hasn't it, princess? Right now, no one's around. You can hold off on your pleasantries. Just tell me, why don't you think I can get married? The dagger kept laughing, but after a while it began to speak. That man came here from a different world. Eventually he might have to go back, you know. Huh? Masamune was going to go back? He was going to leave me? Is that true? Yes. Why? You never told me about that. I just decided not to tell you, that's all. The dagger's snickering got on my nerves. Once those called here have fulfilled their duty, they'll go back home. They're just visiting this world. It's only natural for a visitor to leave. That can't be. If that happens, I would be depressed if Masamune left. When I thought he might leave, it tore up my heart. What can I do to make Masamune stay? Let me see. I wonder. All I can say is, you can't tell him to return. You can't let him return to his proper self. I can't let him return to himself? The memories I've given those men are like chains binding them to this world, like a ship's anchor. If they get a hold of their real memories, I'm sure they'll want to return home. If they want to go home, there would be nothing else I could do. That's not true, I mean... Nobunaga didn't want to go home, and he ended up going home when he remembered. Well then, if I told Masamune the truth, then there was a possibility he would leave? And same thing happened with Kotaro too, right? In one route, we ended up going to his world and he didn't want to. I turned pale. I wish this night wouldn't end. In the end, I didn't get much sleep. I was feeling drowsy as morning came. I woke up hearing my handmaid's voice. Princess! What's wrong? Why are you here so early? Sir Takenaka has collapsed. Hanbei collapsed? It's that time again. I put on my clothes and went to Hanbei's room. Yukimura had arrived there before me and adorned a grim look on his face. Yukimura, how's Hanbei?
It doesn't look good. His long-term illness is finally...
It sounded like Yukimura had known about it for a long time.
According to the doctor, he'll only last a few more days.
Didn't my previous fiancé, the man in my blurry memories, die from an illness as well? It can't be. Had Hanbei gotten ill because I called him here? Nope. When I tried to go inside and put my hand on the door, Yukimura stopped me.
Wait, he's having an important conversation with Masamune right now.
With Masamune?
Yeah, he said he had a plan he wanted to tell Masamune about.
I heard a voice come from the other side of the door, overlap with Yukimura's.
You must die, Masamune.
What? That's not what I want to hear at the end of a chapter! And I have to stop for the night because it's late and I recorded quite a few chapters. That was like 5, right? So my voice is a little bit tired. But you will hear more from me soon. Give me a call if you get a chance, and let me know how far you've gotten. Or I'll call you probably, actually. Alright, talk to you soon, Jen. Bye-bye.